Good evening, guys. Good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. Trust you had a wonderful and a beautiful trading week. Today, I just want to show you guys what I'll be expecting this coming week. As the stream is going, you can drop whatever you want me to explain or whichever pair you would want me to touch on in the chat box, and I will try as much as possible to go through it as well. Let me know where you are joining us from. Drop it in the comment section. All right, so I'm not going to be taking much of your time. Let's dive straight to the order of the day. So first of all, I would like us to start with what happened last week on gold. Then we're just going to dive back to our analysis for the week. And we're going to start with US30 when it comes to analysis for this week. All right, so let's get started. This is gold. Let's switch to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, let's basically take a look at where we had the beginning of the week. So 8th of May, so the week began right on this candle, this red candle. So the week began right on that candle. Now we can see the previous week closed bearish and the new week started with a little bit of gap, drop a little bit, then started correcting bullish. All right, so now this is what I want us to note. If you take a critical look at what is going on, last week could not go below or above previous week's range. So if I put, let's say this is Friday, that is the 5th of May, so I'm gonna put a line right there, and it's low. So you can realize, or you can see, that price has been trading within Friday's high and low. Remember, first Friday of this month we had NFP. So all through this last week, price has been trading within what NFP did. So the move caused during the NFP was respected. So price never broke out of the range, neither in the bullish direction nor in the bearish direction. So basically, this week that just ended was kind of a tough week for some people that do not understand how to trade after NFP. So basically, if you were able to join us in our test stream that was on Wednesday and Thursday, I did call this sell, which we identified this structure low. So we're looking at a break for price to test this close of this bearish candle, which of course was also the open of that bullish candle. So which price did exactly as we anticipated. So basically our take profit was at 2003. 2003 was our take profit. So right about this area. So it did drop exactly to that point. So we take about, I think it was 175 pips. That was the projection. So let me drop a tip here for you guys. After NFP, you want to trade when price breaks below a structure or when price breaks above a structure. That is when you are going to have a smooth ride or a smooth trade. But in as much as price has not broken any structure and you want to trade, you'll be you'll be in a 50-50 position, and you wouldn't want to be in a 50-50 position. You want to be in a position that at least you have a greater percentage in your favor so that you can stay longer in this game. So basically, like I said, 175 pip was what I was looking at for. So let's look at here. So I had a sell stop, so immediately it broke below, it did trigger, so I got about 175. So in total, we actually anticipated 196. So 175 was a done deal for us. So this is how last week went on gold. So I just wanted us to understand how we could have traded this, or how you could have taken advantage of gold irrespective of the range we are seeing. You can see the market was very choppy. We didn't really have a nice move. We just saw candles dancing around. Then you saw a bit of a nice move right there, then another range, then a breakout. It corrected more than 100%. So basically, patience was the name of the game, and understanding structure. Then you would have banked some pips last week. This just concluded with. So let's quickly move to the order of the day. First of all, when you want to analyze for the week, you want to take a look at the index to understand what is happening there. You want to take a look at the index to understand what is going on or what is happening over there. So now quickly, just gonna wind up this. All right, so let's look at the index. Whoa. So we are starting with the daily. So let's take a look at certain parameters. So we look at the structures that has been formed previously and what price has done. So if you look at this structure at this point, there was a push to a higher level, then price got rejected at this point. That is 103.06 price. There was a rejection, then we saw price trading downwards, leaving a wick to the top. The next day continued bearish. We saw another rejection, then price went higher to form a lower high to continue bearish. Now we saw a rejection at this point. We did push price in the opposite direction. So we saw 1, 2, 3, then 2 strong buys. Now if you take a critical look at the structure, you realize that price is forming higher lows. So we have a previous low and higher low and a higher low again. So now it is, this market is trying to give us an idea that is a possibility that this week we are going to be experiencing a strong USD. So now, but before that, let's not forget about this immediate significant structure, this level right there. So you can see that price had tried to break above that area series of times, but it could not. So you can see we had 1, 2, then finally it did break above, and it's breaking above 2 points, two significant level. This is 1 and this is 2. So in this situation, what you are going to be expecting, or what I'm going to be expecting, is to see a little bit of a pullback before price could further push higher. Then there's a point with which we should be paying attention to, so which is this zone right about there. So I'll be expecting a push higher into this point. So basically this coming week I'm looking out for a bullish USD, this coming week. So it therefore means that you just have to position yourself to get a better entry if you're going to be trading gold. So basically you should be looking out for sales on gold. If you're going to be trading pound USD, you should be looking out for sales on pound USD. Then of course US30. Sometimes US30 it follows a lot of the fundamentals. So the strength with regards to the USD sometimes is not too significant on it, especially when it comes to the weekly analysis, unless of course when we get to the US30 chart we'll look at it technically, then we can have a view with what is going to happen on US30. So a bullish week for USD is what we are expecting. All right, so with the knowledge of our expectation on USD, so let's look at gold. All right, so we are still on the daily time frame. So if you take a critical look at what has happened here on the daily, so let's clean this up. If you take a critical look at what has happened here, so you realize that there is somewhat of a high that has been respected right about this point. So we had a first rejection, then price has broken above it, then ended up closing below that rejection point. So in other words, that is forming a double top on the daily time frame. And whenever we see a double top on the daily time frame, the expectation is for price to go the opposite direction. So if it's a double bottom, you are expecting price to buy. All right, so now the next thing we are going to be looking at is this structure, this level right here. So now, which is going to serve as the neckline before we can think of this other structure for us to look at a feel of range, because we had a smooth right in the left direction. Okay, so now focus on what is our expectation for this coming week. Okay, so now I'm looking out for a bearish continuation, just like we have already taken a look at what we are expecting on the USD index. All right, so as you can see, Friday closed bearish, leaving a wick to the top and also a wick to the downward direction. So basically in scenarios like this, we are expecting a continuation because price had closed below the previous day's low. So you can see that on the daily time frame, gold closed below Thursday's low. So it still signals a bearish strength on this yellow metal. So basically this week I should be seeing more of the sales coming in for gold. So we might see a strong drop as the market opens on Monday. Then probably we might see a little bit of a resistance at this point because of series of rejection at this point. There has been series of rejection. This is on the daily time frame. So it's natural that we might see a little bit of resistance at this point because of previous price action. So at that point we might see a drop, then a little bit of a correction for price to at least push back downwards depending on the available volume. So basically this is just directional bias for you to give you an idea of where you should be trading, because you don't want to trade against the trend. You don't want to go against the trend. You want to focus and stay in line with the trend. When you understand where market is going to, you just have to wait and kind of look out for retracement, then you join for the continuation in line with the trend. That will basically help you to stay more profitable in this business. Okay. All right. Okay, so trying to fix some technical issues here. All right. So like I said previously, we should be looking out for sales on gold, because basically that's what the chart says. You just need to go down to the narrow it down to the lower time frame, look out for a rejection, correction, a little bit of pullback, then you join in the direction of the trend, which of course, like I said, we're looking out for the best. We already taken a look at the USD index, which we can see that on the USD index it's more in favor of the bulls. So we are looking out for a strong USD this week. All right, so let's look at pound dollar. So still on the daily. All right. Okay. So this is pound dollar daily time frame. So we could see Thursday we started seeing some strong bears coming in, and Friday ended the week with another strong bearish candle on the daily time frame. So basically in this scenario, what we are going to do, since we have already looked at the index and anticipated a strong USD, so just going to look at pound dollar technically before we can look at aligning or doing the correlation between the pound dollar and the USD index, and probably when we have some fundamentals coming in within the week, then we can also have a strong point or a strong stand on which where to actually pick our trade. So what I'm going to go ahead to do is just to I'm going to put a trend line right there. So if I do that, then realize that we are in a downward trend. Now, it's simple why I'm using this trend line, because if you realize that when price started, okay, let's start from this point. So we had a rejection at this point, right? So we had a rejection. We had our three bullish soldiers. So we had another rejection for like kind of a correction or a pullback for price to continue bullish. So at that point, we had a rejection. Price rejected their lows to give us that needed momentum to continue bullish. So that is first point. So that becomes my first point of reference. And after that, the next significant point or the next significant level or rejection we should be considering is where I'm identifying as my point B for this trend line. So as you can see, Wednesday had a rejection, close as an inverted hammer, though it had a little wick in the downward direction. But we saw the volume that came in on Thursday, a strong bearish volume breaking this range. So if you look at the daily, we could see that price was trading sideways for 3 consecutive days on pound dollar. Then we had a drop. Then Friday retested the trend line. You can see how beautiful it is. It retested that trend line, then close bearish. So for me, what I will be looking out for on pound USD, I just want to see a clean break of this structure. When price does a clean break of this structure, then I will be going in heavy on pound dollar, because I know that there's this range which needs to be filled. Though it might look kind of shady, but it's a range we should be looking out for to fill. So let's look at how many pip that range is. So I'm just gonna do this. All right, so this is pound dollar. It's not going to be that much, but trust me, if you have a smooth ride, it is better to be in a smooth ride than just be taking trades that are a little bit of chubby. So that is about 178 pips range, and trust me, this can be done in a day if actually we are patient. Now, why am I looking out for this break at this point? Because if you look at the chart carefully, we could see first rejection. First of all, we had an imbalance here before price pushed higher. Okay, before price pushed higher, then price did a pullback. Okay, continued bullish, gave us a high. All right, then we saw a bearish drop. So we have had series of rejection along this price level. Price trying to test that point, could not break. It keeps rejecting it, and we could see for a long period of time price had been trading in somewhat of a sideways manner for about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 trading days before we could see a new high created for price to pull back and give us this final point, which price has actually rejected for the sales to come in. So with the volume coming in with the sales, if we now see a break below this structure where price has been testing over a period of time, then we should be able to see a nice move towards this next structure where we had a high formed and a retest in place. So this is basically the simple part about why I'm looking at this range for a nice drop if we have a break of this structure low, which is 1.2365. When you have a break of that structure low, then we should see a nice drop to 1.2186 price level. Remember, we had already done our background check on the index, and the index showed that we are expecting a bullish week, a bullish USD for this week. So it is no news that if we have sells on the pound USD, that we should be able to take advantage of it, because the main indicator, which is the index, is giving us an idea that we should be expecting a bullish week for the USD. Please, if there are any parts you will need to you need some clarification, you need more breakdown, then just drop it in the comment section, then I'm gonna deal with that for you. All right, so I'm looking at US30. This probably would be the last pair we'll be looking at for, unless of course there's another pair we would want me to analyze with us together, then I will do that. Okay. All right, so US30, so let's look at this. So still on the daily. Ooh. So I'm going to look at this quickly. So we point our trend line, we could see a steep slope right there. So quickly, you're going to identify the rejection point. Where did it happen? All right, so basically this is what we are looking out for. Then there is another significant level for us to pay attention to, which is this point. So basically this forms the zone of concern. So this is basically our zone of concern. So I'm basically taking you guys through some of the things I do to establish some zone, because sometimes I put out my zones out there and people begin to ask me, how did I come about this zone? Because they are not seeing any zone there. So that's why there is need for us to join this stream, invite our friends to join, so that we get to learn how I come about some of this my trend lines. Okay, so basically let's get it done. I hope we are enjoying the music I'm giving you guys at the background. It's Sunday, so we are preparing to make money while we are enjoying some good music. All right, so Yeah, what do we have here? Okay, so now we have a trend line here. We have a zone marked out here. We have seen that over a period of this week. So now Friday closed bullish. This is 5th May 2023. It closed bullish. This was NFP effect. The NFP effect, it did push US30 bullish. What happened Monday? Closed bearish. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So now price has been trading within the range for these 5 days. So all through this week, price has been trading within the range of what happened on Friday. So this is price recovering from the effect of NFP. So price is trying to recover from the effect of NFP, which of course the original direction was bearish. So we could see that Monday all through Thursday of the first week of May was bearish. Then NFP came, did some correction. Now if I pull my fib for us to have a clear understanding of what is going on there, so I'll do this to identify the low, then I pull my fib to the high. So you could see that price has done about 50%. So it has done about 78% of the previous move. So it was no news that at this point there was bound to be rejection, because if I mark out this zone of interest, then realize that if you are a good follower of what US30 does, that would have been your sell zone, and it was a perfect zone. And to crown it all, if you look at the psychological level, so if I do this 700, so I'm looking at 700. So let's see. See what happened there, that psychological level, the 700. Now, NFP itself tested that level, ended up closing below it. Monday, the same thing, tested, closed below. Tuesday, continued bearish. Wednesday, went back to test there. So Wednesday was a perfect time to lock in your sell and write that sell. So basically, that was a perfect point for us to do what? To pick our sell if we had an eye on US30. So now let's focus on the order of the day, which is our expectation for this coming week. So looking critically at what has happened at the price action, we could identify another trend right here, that is connecting two rejection points. So at this point, this price or this instrument is trading within a triangle. So we have to be very careful at what we should be looking out for. For myself, for example, I'll be looking out for sells when price breaks below my shaded zone. So I'll be looking out for sells. This is what I'll be looking out for on US30. But if price breaks Friday's high, then it therefore means that we might be testing back this high. So then I will be looking out for a buy. So of course, from Wednesday we'll be doing live sessions with it during the New York. So you can be joining our live stream to see how we'll be trading this pace that we have analyzed together today. So you're not going to be missing out anything. Within the week, from Wednesday we do our live stream. Wednesday we do a live stream. Thursday. For this coming week, we're gonna do Wednesday, Thursday. From the upper week, then we might start from Monday all through to Thursday. So this week, join us live Wednesday. The time will be sent via all my social media page and also on the Telegram as well, for people to be notified and stay alert so that we can all make money together. In the days that the loss come, we lose together, of course, because obviously certain things are inevitable in this business. It's just that you have to keep your loss minimal. Let your win outweigh your loss. It's as simple as that. So, like I said in the beginning of the stream, I made mention that when we come to US30, sometimes it might be a little bit messy because it might not sometimes follow exactly what is going to happen in the index. And as we have come to the chart, we can see that clearly because of what is happening. And there's a specific strategy I used to trade US30 to be capturing about 100 pips every day. So that will be disclosed in the live stream because you're going to be seeing me use it live to trade, because this is me coming online to analyze my usual way, pick trades, of course, use my stop loss and take profit. Of course, you're going to see everything live and you learn as we go. So this is basically it. So now I think someone has requested of an analysis on Euro USD. So let's look at that before we close the stream. All right, Euro USD. All right, because I don't trade Euro USD. It's not even part of my watch list. So let's Google Euro USD is on the hot seat. All right, Euro USD. So let's go. Another bad boy. All right. So Euro USD is clearly on a downtrend. So basically, let's not jump into conclusion. Let's look at what the chart has to offer or what the chart has to say. So we have a structure there to watch out for. Then we have a rejection here as well. We need to pay attention to. So all right, so we have these 2 points to pay attention to in the immediate and the interim. Then of course, where I'll be expecting myself to a little bit exhaust is this area. Now we had a rejection here, so we had a retest. So now let's break it down. So rejection, price broke above this structure. We had a retest of that broken structure. Simple price action, simple price action right there. So now basically what we are expecting is for price to break this or probably dance around here a little bit, then just find its way to this zone. Remember, US index is indicating a bullish, it has a bullish indication for this week. USD is bullish. So the reason I'm looking out for a little bit of correction here is maybe when the index is as well trying to retest. So we are expecting a retest. Let's look at it. So we are expecting a retest of broken structure here on the index. All right. So that is why I am looking out for, or I am kind of projecting that Euro USD might have a little bit of correction before it continues bearish. But if the index decide to push higher with this volume that we are seeing, because the Friday candle closed without leaving a single wick to the top, so it's a strong indication for a bullish continuation. So the chances for a correction or a retest is 50-50. So that is why it is very, very important to be what? To be patient. Be patient to see what market does, then you react. Don't don't try to be ahead of the market, because no one has ever been ahead of the market. You can't be ahead of the market. The market is a very big ocean, it can swallow you. So don't try to be smarter than the market. Just be patient, follow your system, and follow simple price action, and you will be good to go. All right, so back to Euro USD. All right, so that is my expectation. I'm looking out for a little bit of price to drop to exactly this level, or probably to retest this wick right here. Then a little bit of correction, maybe to 50% of Friday's candle, which will align with this area right there. You can see series of rejection here previously. So we should see a correction to that point before we can see a serious drop towards this zone that I have marked. So basically, this is going to be my expectation on this space. As you guys already know of us, as some of us already know, I focus only on gold and US30. These are my main strengths, and I focus on them. So this is the expectation on Euro USD this coming week. So a quick recap on what we have done. Euro USD, we are looking out for bears. So we're just going to be paying attention if we see some correction or a pullback for us to dump in more sales to push lower. Because as long as price breaks this level and closes below, when price is in momentum, wicks will be filled, and you can see to the left hand side there is a wick right here, and that wick should be filled. Then below the wick, immediately after the wick, we can see this zone of interest where we had a structure that was broken. We had a retest of that broken structure. So that zone, to me, from previous price action, is likely to be tested before we can think of any other movement. So this is what I'm looking out for on Euro USD for this week. So back to our gold, we are looking out for a bearish continuation on gold. Then probably we might see some reaction at this significant zone, either for a strong pushback up, or just for price to create a lower high to give us a new low. Same thing applies to pound USD. So pound USD, we like to see price drop further into this zone of interest, into this area where we had series of rejection previously before we could think of a further drop. But it's more important to be patient on pound USD. If you do not see a clear price action on the lower time frame to join the sell, it's better for you to wait. Then when it breaks this zone or this structure, then you will be able to enjoy a smoother ride to the downside in this regard. So guys, this is basically what I have for you guys in today's weekly analysis. So if you like the content, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you have not done so already, and share the content. There are a lot of people that could not join us. You can as well forward the link to them for them to join and be a part of this free content. Trust me, any question you put down on the comment section, I'm gonna respond to you to the best or as simple as possible that you will understand what it entails or what it's all about. Because the main goal is to see how I can replicate what I know in the hearts of others. That is why we are beginning our live stream coming this week, Wednesday. So inform a friend, tell a friend to tell another friend